You may remember last time I told you Uncharted 4 had been delayed from March the 16th to April the 29th. Well, it's been delayed for a third time. It's now going to be released worldwide on May the 10th. This is apparently not to allow for extra development time, but is instead linked to manufacturing demands. So, basically Sony let it slip out of their financial year so they can make a few more copies available at launch. Sure, makes sense. Definitely not anything to do with the fact that Naughty Dog needed a little bit more time for bug fixing, polishing, or, finishing the goddamn game. Electronic Arts continue to jinx the MMA world with their choice of fighters to feature on the box of the new UFC game, due out in June this year. First, they announced women's MMA trailblazer and PR wrecking machine Ronda Rousey will feature on the box. She subsequently gets brutally banjoed by Holm, losing her bantamweight title to a head kick and a vicious ground and pound in the second round. She'll be joined on the cover by Irish bad boy Conor McGregor, who has taken the MMA world by storm. Until that is, he foolishly moved up a few weight divisions after agreeing to fight champion Rafael dos Anjos. Just before the fight, dos Anjos pulls out due to injury, leaving his replacement, Stockton's finest Nate Diaz, to fight him on just 2 weeks' notice. Can you guess what happened? Yep. Nate pimp slaps him for a round, then puts him to sleep with a rear naked choke in the second. Press reports that every MMA fighter in the world is currently refusing to take EA's marketing calls. Can't be confirmed at this time. I'll be reviewing UFC 2 soon. Initial reports are that it looks great, has a good ground game, but lacks punching power. So basically EA has created the gaming equivalent of Michael Bisping. Only kidding, Mike, you're the man. As is usually the case with a new console launch, developers are not happy with the lack of dev kits for Nintendo's upcoming NX console. As most early dev kits are limited in numbers, they tend to find their way into the hands of first-party development teams or platform-exclusive developers. This, of course, limits the number of titles available at launch. Thomas Mailer, the CEO of Ori and the Blind Forest developer Moon Studios, is not a happy guy. This is actually the single most annoying thing for every developer out there, he said. Every hardware manufacturer is treating their dev kits and unreleased consoles like they're the second coming. They're insanely secretive about it to a stupid degree in today's times. Nintendo will probably release the NX in 2016, but with limited games at launch, which won't help its chance of stealing market share from Sony and Microsoft. By the time they get more dev kits out, they'll either have a much bigger install base to sell to, or it'll be too late and we'll see another Nintendo crash and burn like the Wii U. This could be Nintendo's biggest ever mistake. Continuing with the Nintendo theme, they've told their investors their revenue for 2016 are expected to be 12% lower than originally predicted. They now believe they'll only achieve sales of £3 billion for this year, which is down from their previous forecast of £3.5 billion. That's also less than 2015's £3.38 billion. Oh, bless. Sounds like you'll be seeing them at a soup kitchen near you soon. Nintendo boss Tatsumi Kimishima is putting his eggs in the smartphone and NX basket, saying the pair will quadruple Nintendo's numbers and return Nintendo-like profits. Great, smashing. Maybe you can use some of that money to develop a decent console and a good marketing strategy, mate. And our final Nintendo nugget sees them continuing to try and persuade gamers that Metroid Prime Federation Force is actually a good idea. This is despite the fact it wasn't received well by pretty much anyone at last year's E3 show in Los Angeles. Nintendo didn't get a huge amount of positive press from E3 last year, and Federation Force became almost the focal point of attention in terms of fan frustration, leading to the creation of a petition to actually talk them out of developing the game. One kind of upset fan said, "I signed it. Honestly, I refuse to just fucking let them ignore us and not listen to their gaming audience. I refuse to let them walk all over us and pretend that this was a good idea. It's a travesty. It's a travesty to the Metroid series. Nobody asked for this. Everybody wanted anything but a fucking Metroid soccer game." Alright, chill out, disappointed from Derby. Let's not forget, you're perfectly entitled to not buy the game. But freedom of choice? Apparently not enough. The game idea must be destroyed because it's evil! Nintendo fans, putting the fan back into fanatical. So, Nintendo keep trying to pitch it, and Nintendo Direct host Bill Trinan admitting the game left fans with some questions. Really, Bill? Just some questions? Nothing about the fact no one wants it and everybody hates it. It's like saying Hitler was just a little misunderstood. Clash of Clans developer Supercell is at the top of the App Store charts again with its new title, Clash Royale. The new game shot straight to the #1 spot in the US within 12 hours of launching. In the UK, it's the best-selling free title on iPad and #2 on iPhone behind Ketchup Stack. In the revenue charts, Clash Royale is the 5th best performing game on iPhone and 6th on iPad, but this number will improve as the insane number of downloads will see Supercell flying up the revenue rankings soon as people start to spend all their money on in-app purchases. Clash Royale's success, not really a surprise. Supercell has seen wild success with Clash of Clans, which has been the highest selling mobile game for ages. Last year, it was the highest grossing game on the UK App Store. In 2015, its revenue was almost £1.3 billion, while in 2014, it was generating an insane £450,000 per day. That brings us to the end of the news. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to be kept up to date on new videos. See you next time.